Some of you know me as the co-founder of the E6 Experience, and some of you watching today may have seen me speak somewhere, or you know me from the online spaces. Regardless of why you're here, I'm really excited to share this super short training video with you around getting you a personal branding statement crafted and usable in future endeavors, such as looking for a job promotion, using this statement that you craft on your LinkedIn profile or other social platforms. It's also a great go-to phrase or statement when you're at an accelerated networking event and you need something to say quickly about yourself that conveys a lot of information in a very short space. So by the end of this training today, you will have that statement, or at least a working draft that you can play around with and get feedback on as you move forward. So let's jump right in. I love this quote from George Bernard Shaw. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. What I love about this is the truth behind it. Finding yourself implies that you're lost. Creating yourself implies that you have the power to take elements of your experiences and the people that you meet and the jobs that you do and just the general life experiences and use those to craft something new, like an artist or an architect or an engineer. Those three words are very powerful, and we see them being used more and more today because we are living in a time unlike any other where there is more opportunity to create things for ourselves because of technology. And again, those of you who know me know that this fact really excites me, and it's at the heart of the training and the coaching that I do with clients all over the world. So remember, life is about creating yourself, and your personal branding statement is really a representation of that creation that you work on day in and day out. So just as a quick review, what is a personal brand? Well, a personal brand is a reflection of who you are and what value you bring to the world. That last part that's emphasized in blue, value you bring to the world, is really, really important. Because at the end of the day, a personal brand, it really isn't about you. It's about the people you're serving through the work that you do. And you're going to see in my example shortly what that really looks like, how you can capture value in a short statement that expresses very clearly to your audience who you are and what you're about. So there is a personal branding statement formula that I'm going to give you. Clients that I've worked with have said this has been very, very handy and useful, and that's why I want to pass it on to you. This appears in the first chapter of my book, and certainly if you currently own the book or you plan on purchasing the book, you're going to see this again. But for today, I really want you to hone in on getting a personal branding statement started for yourself. Now, if you didn't happen to get the download before this video, here is where you can do that right now. So I want you to head on over to MaryLouKayser.com/PBS, like the public broadcasting service or station, although this stands for Personal Branding Statement. Again, MaryLouKayser.com/PBS. Once you have that worksheet up and printed, you can follow along. So you may want to pause this video just for a minute or two so you can get the worksheet, and when you come back, you can jump right in with us. So let's walk through the personal branding formula so you can see the different parts. And then if you have the worksheet, you can fill in as we go. If you're driving and listening to this, or you just, for whatever reason, your printer isn't working, you can take some notes and start thinking about this formula. I promise you, it's very simple. It's very straightforward. It's super, super powerful. So what you do is you're going to start with your name. Very, very simple. So just put your name on the line. Next, you're going to give a description of either your job title or what it is that you do. I gave some examples. Sally Smith is a lawyer. Third part of this personal branding statement is a verb. And remember, a verb is that action word that really makes it clear what it is that's happening. So Sally Smith is a lawyer who works with, and now we're going to get to the audience, or works for, in this case, who works with newlywed couples who, or so they can, plan for their retirement effectively. Do you see how that sounds? It's super, super simple. Sally Smith is a lawyer who works with newlywed couples so they can plan for their retirement effectively. There's no extraneous stuff. It's a nice one-shot, 20-second, 30-second statement that you can use in a lot of different situations, which I'll go over in a couple of minutes. Let me share with you what my personal branding statement looks like so you can see another example. Mary Lou Kaser is a business and writing consultant who helps executives build trust, foster innovation, and manage change effectively. This is what people see on my LinkedIn profile, which is one of the places where a personal branding statement can be very, very handy. And if it's been a while since you've given your LinkedIn profile a little love and attention, this would be a great excuse for you to go in there and at least add a personal branding statement to your profile right next to your name. In a future training video, I am going to go into more detail about ways to boost your LinkedIn profile, how you can use LinkedIn to connect with key decision makers and also the movers and shakers in the industry that you work in or that you would like to include in your network. I don't have time to do that today, plus it's not the point of this. But what's beautiful about a very short and straightforward personal branding statement is it makes it very, very clear to the people who are listening to you or reading about you, know exactly what you're about. So let's take a look at uses for your personal branding statement. Pretty straightforward. I've mentioned LinkedIn. Remember, LinkedIn is the go-to place for professionals who are looking to network with other professionals. Average income, annual income of a LinkedIn user is $108,000 a year. Now, that may have changed. It might be up slightly as LinkedIn grows. It might be down slightly, but most of the research that I've read about LinkedIn shows that the average income on LinkedIn is 6 figures and above. So you know that these are people who are out there really serving the world through their capacity. Another place for personal branding statements is during job interviews or promotions. It's a great way to really encapsulate what you've been doing previous and then use it as a bridge to what you want to do next. Networking events. How many of you have been in a networking event where you have to go around the room and introduce yourself and what you do to the rest of the room? And how many of you have had to sit through long-winded, circular, or just rambling presentations? Even when the MC clearly states 30 seconds or less or 60 seconds or less, there are always people that break the rules and go on and on and on. It's because they haven't taken the time to really sit down and encapsulate what their personal branding statement is. You will be remembered for being concise, accurate, and professional. So again, great reason to get a personal branding statement. Business cards. This is another place that sometimes people overlook, but when you're out and about and you're meeting other folks who you either would like to do business with or perhaps they want to do business with you, what's on your business card? Do you have a personal branding statement? It's a great way to stand out from the average ho-hum cards that may be pretty to look at but don't have a lot of content or information to help the person remember later on down the road, oh yeah, that was that great gal, that great lawyer who works with newlyweds to help them with their retirement planning. I know my sister and brother-in-law are in desperate need of that. You know, it just helps people remember what you're about in a way that's fresh and can trigger them picking up the phone or sending you an email to connect. And last but not least, if you have a website, you can use your personal branding statement either in the About Me section. Some people actually use it as their tagline. And the tagline is that little phrase or sentence that comes after the name of the website. Big brands like Nike and McDonald's don't need taglines because they're so recognized worldwide. But if you're an emerging brand and you're trying to build up your reputation, having that personal branding statement can really be a way to differentiate yourself, especially if you're moving in a competitive space like life coaching or software as a service kind of work. There's a lot of competition. So what makes you different? And your personal branding statement can be that differentiator. So that's all there is to it. Personal branding statement is pretty straightforward, and it is your turn to take some time to really get your personal branding statement solidified. Because remember, if you're not controlling your personal brand, in this day and age, someone else is. And if you're at all like I am, you want to be in the driver's seat of how people perceive you and what people associate you with. Now, I am going to extend an open invitation to reach out and connect. Those of you who are watching who are not yet part of the E6 community, we would love to have you become a part of that Facebook community. Just head on over to www.facebook.com/E6 conference, and you can like our page and be privy to special offers and cool content and just a wonderful community of progressive, amazing, smart women. And keep your eye out for future little training things like I just put together. Now, if you liked today's video, this is a little preview of the kind of training that we're going to be offering in the E6 experience, which if you haven't taken the time to look into, visit the page. There's a link in the email that accompanied this video. Really look at what kind of value you're going to be getting from the private coaching that Julie and I are putting together. This is going to be a very special experience because unlike any other program that we've been able to find, this one combines the best of topics that are leading edge, that are top of mind, that women everywhere, whether you're in a career, you're in a transition, or you are running and growing your own small business, women can really benefit from what we're going to dive into. And like I said, this little training video is just the tip of the iceberg, as was the E6 conference, where you got exposure to some pretty amazing content. We talked about brain science, and we talked about productivity, and we touched on, if you remember, my presentation was all about personal branding and particularly leveraging social capital to get something done. And then finally, we looked at that mission and vision statement, which personal branding statement is a natural outcropping of. And so the E6 experience, again, if you haven't checked it out, facebook.com, E6 conference, there will be announcements and such going out in the very near future. We've already sent out the first introduction to it. And if you haven't checked out that email, make sure you go back and do it. If you aren't on our list yet and you want to know more about it, this is a great place to start. Join our community. And in the meantime, get out there, take some time, get your personal branding statement really honed down. I look forward to seeing what you guys come up with. You can always reach out to me on Facebook, and I'm happy to offer you some quick feedback and direction. So this is Mary Lou Kazer. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you in future trainings. Go out there and make it a great day. Bye for now.